entitled "Is Freud Dead?" presented a strongly biased negative opinion against the existence of satanic ritual abuse. The article contained the following: if some of the recovered memories of familial childhood abuse sound fanciful, the recollections of satanic ritual abuse are downright bizarre. But could such satanic rituals be that commonplace, let alone exist at all? Yet law enforcement authorities report that not one shred of reliable evidence has turned up to support these claims. No documented marks of torture, no bones of sacrificed adults, infants, or fetuses, and no reputable eyewitnesses. The fact that this article appeared after the previously mentioned convictions were widely publicized demonstrates that some who deny the existence of SRA have not done a credible job of research. It is also the position of this ministry that there is substantial hard evidence to prove the existence of SRA. The examples I have provided are sufficient to convince all who are objective. Only those who don't want to be confused by the facts will continue to deny the obvious. Despite the flood of hard evidence that confirms the reality of satanic crime, the backlash against the existence of SRA continues. It often takes the form of what has come to be known as false memory syndrome. The following quote is also from the Time magazine article, "Is Freud Dead?" An increasing number of recovered memory accusers have recanted, and some have reunited with their families and joined them in suing the therapists and clinics they claim led them astray. Many of them are among the more than 7,000 individuals and families who have sought assistance from the False Memory Syndrome Foundation, a Philadelphia-based organization that has taken the lead in publicizing the wrongdoing and in helping the victims of recovered memory therapy. Pamela Freud, who co-founded FMSF in 1992, has yet to be reconciled with her accuser daughter. The so-called false memory syndrome has become the biggest weapon in the arsenal of those that would deny the existence of SRA. The facts concerning false memory syndrome are the following. False memory syndrome is not a recognized medical or psychological diagnosis and does not appear in the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, DSM-3, or the soon-to-be-released DSM-4. False memory syndrome is the invention of the False Memory Syndrome Foundation. The False Memory Syndrome Foundation was founded in March 1992 by a couple whose daughter, a doctor with degrees in psychology, had privately accused them of sexual abuse and molestation. The daughter did not make her charges public until August of 1993. The False Memory Syndrome Foundation has certainly succeeded in making it more difficult to convict child molesters by discrediting the testimony of children. We believe the motivation for the invention of false memory syndrome becomes apparent when the writings of FMS board member Ralph Underwager are examined. His article was printed in the Journal of Pedophilia, Volume 3, Number 1, 1993. A pedophile is an adult who prefers to have sex with children rather than other adults. Underwager wrote, "Pedophiles spend a lot of time and energy defending their choice. I don't think that a pedophile needs to do that. Pedophiles can boldly and courageously affirm what they choose. They can say that what they want is to find the best way to love." I am also a theologian, and as a theologian, I believe it is God's will that there be closeness and intimacy, unity of the flesh between people. A pedophile can say, "This closeness is possible for me within the choices that I've made." Underwager continued, "Pedophiles are too defensive. They go around saying, 'You people out there are saying that what I choose is bad, that it's no good. You're putting me in a prison. You're doing all these terrible things to me. I have to define my love as being in some way or other illicit." What I think is that pedophiles can make the assertion that the pursuit of intimacy and love is what they choose. With boldness they can say, I believe this is in fact part of God's will. Underwager's article demonstrates that at least some of the False Memory Syndrome Foundation Board are advocates of pedophilia and possibly other deviant behaviors. This could be why they have an interest in the existence of false memory syndrome. The hard evidence for the existence of SRA does not depend solely upon recovered memories, as some would have us to believe. Recovered memories do, however, play a key role in SRA investigations because the abuse encountered in SRA is so severe that it will force the person to disassociate to deal with the pain. Disassociation is a defense mechanism that develops in people that experience situations that are too severe for them to face. The body is designed to go into shock when harsh experiences are encountered. Many people who are severely injured in automobile accidents don't remember anything except waking up in the hospital. People who are subjected to repeated abuse learn how to imagine themselves to be somewhere else or even to be someone else while the abuse is going on. This is disassociation. Repeated disassociation will result in repressed memories and usually MPD or multiple personality disorder. But are all recovered memories to be taken at face value and not questioned? Are some recovered memories false? Consider the following criticism from the Time article, Is Freud Dead? In the course of the therapy, many of these troubled souls conjure up exquisitely detailed recollections of sexual abuse by family members, encouraged by their therapist to reach deeper into the recesses of their memories, often using techniques such as visualization and hypnosis. Some go on to describe events that sorely strain credulity, particularly tales of their forced childhood participation in satanic rituals involving animal and infant sacrifices as well as sexual acts. All recovered memories cannot be taken at face value. There are therapeutic methods which can create delusion in the patient. The altered state is the doorway to the occult. Every person who has been heavily involved in occult practice has experienced altered states of consciousness which were self-induced or were the result of their participation in occult rituals. When a therapist uses methods such as visualization and hypnosis with someone who has experienced altered states of consciousness as a result of occult ritual, it is like throwing gasoline on a fire. The victim can revert back into an altered state of consciousness. In my opinion, such therapy itself constitutes abuse, which can be similar in nature to what the victim has previously experienced. We do not doubt the integrity or the sincerity of people who use visualization and hypnosis to treat victims of SRA, but we do believe these inappropriate practices can lead to false recovered memories. All recovered memories are certainly not false. The obvious example is the person who has recovered from amnesia. Prior to recovery, they may not know their own name. The fact that they have a spouse and children, as well as other information about their life and identity. However, there are numerous cases where complete recovery has occurred. Sometimes such recovery occurs suddenly, while in other cases the recovered memories return gradually. There are a number of credible therapists, psychiatrists, and Christian ministries working with SRA victims who do not use visualization or hypnosis. The implication